turkeys are not very hard, because for them, they can easily go on a free range and supplement. And their feeds is not so much mixed up with the ingredients like for the chicken. So these ones you can even give them plain brand and even broken, and then they can do with it. But with the chicken, because for them, they will need maybe the eggs and laying of eggs for selling and everything. So it will need you to put all the ingredients that are needed for the chicken to what? To lay the eggs. But for these ones, even if you don't give them brand, still they will have to give eggs. The turkey story started after we had removed the cocks. Initially we started with rearing of this chicken. Then when we removed that, we stopped the rearing of chicken. Then we introduced the turkeys because we had space. And being that this area is hot, we found out that turkeys are favorable for the environment. So we started slowly, and then we brought them. Then it went on well. So we didn't have any difficulties with rearing them. And they are easy to manage because you easily give them feeds. Afterwards, they go on their own so that they can even supplement on the feeds. In terms of management, first with the feeds, the turkeys are not very hard because for them, they can easily go on a free range and supplement. And their feeds is not so much mixed up with the ingredients like for the chicken. So these ones you can even give them plain brand and even broken, and then they can do with it. But with the chicken, because for them, they will need maybe the eggs and laying of eggs for selling and everything. So it will need you to put all the ingredients that are needed for the chicken to what? To lay the eggs. But for these ones, even if you don't give them brand, still they will have to give eggs. They eat most of the fruits like the pineapples, the mangoes. They eat almost everything. Even the rice, they eat them. So it is not costly for the turkeys, but for the chicken it is a bit expensive. Buying feeds, even giving them vaccines. These ones we don't. But for the chicken, right from day one, after the brooding, from the day one of the brooding system, you have to start giving them vaccines. But with the turkeys, it is different. We don't give them. Someone who has tried both of them. The chicken have got their own issues, and the turkeys have got their own issues. But right now, I would say I would rather go for the turkeys. One, because I have all the realities that they need for. The land, I have. The feeds, I have, because I grow my own maize. I have the free space for them to go and eat everything. So even for the beauty, I love seeing them. They have that good sound, very unique sound. So the way they sound when they are very many, I love it. Even they have the way they spread the feathers is so beautiful. And it brings a unique thing to even the children and to you as a person. So we have grown up seeing chicken everywhere. But when you grow the turkeys, when you rear the turkeys, you see something different in your house, in your compound. There's that way they sound. Yeah, the male, normally there's a way they start spreading their feathers like this. You can see them even from here. You can see this one is different from the female. There's the way this thing grows and expands. So you can easily notice that this one is the male. Buying them sourcing them from anywhere, it depends on where you're going to buy them from and who is going to sell them to you. Because for me, I bought them from a neighbor in Gayaza. I gave her 150 for both of them. Then I brought them here. It took them like 6 months. Then they started giving out eggs. Then they started multiplying slowly by slowly, because after laying eggs, they normally lay 15 to 14 eggs. Then it takes them, the hatching period takes them around 30 to 28 days. Then afterwards, you start taking them to the breeding. Turkeys are quite a bit difficult to handle during the laying of eggs and hatching. They normally don't lay their eggs in open places. They have that genetic in them of hiding eggs. So it is very, very important for you to take notice of that period that these turkeys have started laying their eggs. So for you to notice and get the location so that you can easily get a shade for the eggs not to be affected by the rains. Because most of the times if these eggs are affected by water or rains, they normally get spoiled. So that is where the most important and difficult part is. It is very tricky and you have to be very, very vigilant because you can easily lose out on every season. Because if you don't have that critical eyeing on them, then you will never notice where they lay the eggs. So for any farmer, if you want to multiply them, you have to take notes, especially in the morning. You see these ones which are laying eggs separating from these young ones. By around 11, they start moving away. Even in the evening, so you have to follow up, make a follow up and see where they go. So after that, you notice that they have gone to this direction, the other ones to that direction, then you start picking out the eggs. You don't leave them behind. You pick them for some good time on the trays and keep them in the house. So if you see that the days have passed by, then you take them back. It depends because most of the turkeys lay eggs around 15 to 16. So when you check that they have not put more eggs, then you just notice that it has stopped. Then these ones, you take them back before you notice that you have been picking out the eggs. So when you take them back, so then it will come to the hatching period, which will take 30 to 28 days. After that, you will notice that they are moving out, then you support them, then you take them to the breeding houses you have prepared. Normally, it depends on the season. If it is a rainy season, they will spend 2 months because if you remove them, the seasons are normally very cold. When it is the rainy season and they cannot move by themselves to take them back or move outside very fast, so they are affected by the rains. But if it is a dry season, even 1 month you can remove them, they start moving out with their mother. There are some diseases just like even in the chicken, like any other birds, cough, flu. So what we do, we normally apply Amylite. There's Amylite we apply from day 1 for 3 to 5 days. We put in the water every morning for 3 to 5 days. Yeah, cough and flu. It is also something that disturbs them a lot, especially when they are young. But when they are around 2 to 3 months, it is rare to find turkeys like they are falling sick. It is very rare. Them the feeds like for the chicken, the broken, the feeds which are mixed, the pellets. When they are young, we give them the starter pellets like for the chicken, because they cannot digest very fast these broken food feeds. So when they are still young, day 1, day 2, up to a month, that is the feeds we normally give them. So after around 1 or 6 weeks, then you start changing the feeds, because at 1 month, if it is a dry season, they can move out. Right from when it is around 8 months, you can even feel the weight in your hands when you lift them. You can feel they are normally 6, 7, 5 kilos. Yeah, if they have really been fed well, they weigh up to 7 kilos. Yes. So you can also feel that this one is ready for selling. The male costs a bit expensive. Yeah, the male breed will cost around 180,000, 100. The other one can cost 80,000. But with these females, they will cost around 80. They don't go below 80,000. Yes. I wouldn't say that which region or where, because even the neighbors come here and ask, are you selling? Even in town, they ask, are you selling, because the buyers are there. Even there are those who are asking me to sell them at where they are even still 2 to 3 months. They want even to start rearing them. The market is there, but the only challenge is rearing them and putting them in big numbers. But the market is there. We have got neighbors here who come, we have got visitors who come here for studies, and they want to buy them. So the market is there. We only keep them so that we see that they have got the right weight to sell them. But we normally sell them. and you have the market. Normally the eggs are very hard, they have a very hard surface. So when the time has come for the hatching, and for the chicks to move out of the eggs, you have to check on them, especially the last 2 days. Because normally you find if the surface is too hard, there are those ones that cannot move by themselves. So you have to get someone to help you, then you peel them out so that you can remove them and support them. Because they are normally those ones which are a bit weak, that if you don't take trouble to do that, then you might find you lose like 5, 6, and then you get a lesser number. Yes. And being that they lay in the outskirts, in the bushy areas, you have to be very, very observant, because at any one time you can lose even the mother, because the dogs can come and find them there. So what you have to do is make sure that you check on the places and make sure the places are very secure. Yes, that is the most big challenge where it lies with hatching and laying and rearing of these turkeys. I would advise a farmer, since this farm is closed, for you to prepare such a place because of the rains. The rains can normally disorganize you with the water. You can construct them for them a small thing, because if you don't, it also needs some place which has got security for it to be secure, keeping the eggs. That then to notice that it will have to come back and find them. So if you don't, you can easily lose the eggs, because if it doesn't have a place that is constructed at least for it to feel that it's secure, you will not find it there again. It will move even to another place. So it will notice that this place is not secure for my eggs. It will lay 3 here and then it move away. So that is why you find yourself that you have to at least construct something for it to notice that then my babies will be safe here. If you have a small compound, I wouldn't advise you to go in for turkeys, because you'll be left with no flowers at home. Like you see, they can eat the grass, the flowers, everything that is green. And they will be costly for you, like I said, because for them, they always want something to supplement for them. So all the time you cannot keep them indoors on feeds. So you'll find that you will not get profits. It will be very expensive for you, because for them they never stop eating. They eat 24 hours. They will eat everything. So you need at least some place which is a bit bigger for them, so that after eating they can easily move out and supplement, because they need to eat the stones, they need to eat those worms, they need to supplement on other things. So being honest, like me, I started them at home in town, but it was hard for me. It was very hard for me to increase in numbers. So I found it very expensive. I found it very disturbing, because they can disorganize everything, because they grow very fast. That is one thing. So you are not left with any flowers. The moment you leave them on a free range, they have to move the whole place. So you have to make sure you have some place which is bigger. That is when you can rear them. Our word to fellow women like me is don't fear to start anything. That is what we live for. You have to keep on working until the end of it. So everything is possible if you endeavor yourself to have that passion and love for it. You can still do something for yourself. Me growing up, since I grew up in the centers of the urban, I had not seen them so many like this. So when I started rearing them, it was also something new to me. So it was like a challenge to my life. I had not seen, even my children, they had not seen, so it is also new to them. Even there are some visitors who come there and they have never seen such turkeys in big numbers. So in future, I want to see like thousands of them here at the farm. And I think even to motivate other people to start rearing them as business. Yeah, I want to see in big numbers.